the Niners season isn't over per se, but they got the Bears next week. They got the Rams right after that. So they got 2 games in 4 days. Then, if they win those games, they go to Miami. And if they win all 3 of those games, they're in business and they just have to beat the Lions. Here's the thing. A couple of weeks ago, maybe even last week, there was a part of me that felt like the Niners actually could pull this off. Forget the Bills game. It's a scheduled loss. Just focus on the next 5 weeks, run the table. You'll be fine. They might win the next 3. There is no freaking way they're beating the Lions. How do I know? Because I've watched this team this season. It's not happening. There is no gear. There is no next gear that they're going to find. This is it. This is their level. Maybe next year, if they clean house and bring in a new head coach and have a new direction and whatever you want to call it, then maybe they could bounce back next year. But no, this is it now. And if it'd be interesting to know what happens to Kyle if he loses to the Bears next week. This could get very embarrassing for him. You got a team coming into town that just fired their head coach. Are they better coached than you? A team that just fired their head coach, are they better coached than you? The next week, you got McVay coming to town. The Rams might be the most mediocre team in football. Then after that, it's McDaniel and the Dolphins. They're soft. Everyone knows it. Last time you played the Dolphins, Tua looked like he was peeing down his leg, metaphorically speaking. I don't think he's going to be intimidated by the Niners anymore. Now, maybe Nick Bosa comes back and Christian McCaffrey comes back. I'd just be kind of surprised if that happens. It doesn't seem like it's trending that direction. Salim says, why is Juice still on the team, though his karma has been real bad since his BS call-out? Brandon Graham says, thoughts on Kittle's response about targets and only running about 6 more routes the rest of the game? Is the mood towards Kyle changing? Yeah, I would think so, man. I mean, Kittle's been on the team 8 years. How many games has he had to put up with this where he doesn't get any opportunities? This is a Hall of Fame tight end who's having a great year. And for whatever reason, Kyle has games where I didn't want to go that direction today. Why? Would you rather have Marcus Freeman or Kyle? I don't know who Marcus Freeman is. Zach Garza says, mark your calendars for the Cabo Click 2025 Run It Back Revenge Tour. Old, slow, entitled, satisfied. Salim says, who do you like for a new quarterback? I don't know, man. It's not that simple. I have no idea. What are they going to do? Draft a guy in round 2? Maybe. Bring back Sam Darnold? He could be expensive. El Cortez says Kyle needs a sabbatical, needs to fix his offense and get a haircut. Niner fan 85 says ceiling 9-8, floor 7-10, or 6-11, the way I see it. Yeah, technically they could go 4-1 down the stretch. I just don't see it. Jorgen 1990 says leave both Banana Hands and Sorensen in Buffalo. JM Dez says, do you think Bill Belichick passed on the advisory role because he's eyeing the head coaching job? Also, who would you suggest to take the job? I think he is eyeing the job, and I think they should want to go after Ben Johnson, the offensive coordinator from the Lions, but I don't know if he'd want to take it. Zach Garza, and the scary thing with Belichick is that he's had no success without Tom Brady. That's scary. Zach Garza says, trade Kyle to the Raiders and sentence him to getting his tuchus beat by Andy Reid and Mahomes till the end of time. Salim Ingram says, fire Kyle after hiring cycle like they did Wilkes. Oh. Jorge Meza says, Jed is hosting the Super Bowl in 2026. He'll have enough money to pay Kyle to leave. John Lynch might get 1 more year. Interesting. Mufasa says, if they fire Kyle, will you apologize to Jimmy G? I mean, no. Like Jimmy G would have to go play somewhere and be good. But if he does, I'll apologize to him in that case. You're right, but McDermott ain't been to the bowl in 8 years, says Wave 9. Yeah, and his team's still fighting and Kyle's isn't. Michael says, why do people who defend keeping Shanahan like to repeat what he's done in the past and think he can do it again in the future? A rebuild takes 2 to 4 years. It's a great point. All the defenses of Kyle Shanahan has nothing to do with this year. This year has been way worse than anyone expected. It's not like they're, in second place or a wild card team. Like they suck. That's where they are. 2 games under 500. Gregory Young says, we always ask the league caught up to insert quarterback name, but the real question has always been, has the league caught up to Kyle Shanahan? Kyle Shanahan's washed. I think they caught up to him. I think they caught up to McDaniel. I think they caught up to Slowick. The whole Kyle Shanahan tree in shambles. Dylan Oliver, I'm going to take your picks, and if they hit, I'm coming back and giving you some. Love you, man. Keep it up. Thank you, Dylan. The Dark Azrael says, Grant, is it true you're on the hot seat for bad quality control? I'm doing a terrible job this year. I take full responsibility. John B says, the problem is Purdy is just a good quarterback when the NFL is dominated by elite quarterbacks, along with Kyle's stubbornness to change his play calls and adjustments. Agree. Anthony Garcia says we need Jimmy G back. He's not walking through that door, and he's not your savior. Marcus Freeman is Notre Dame head coach. Oh, can I just be the first to say that I don't know nothing about college football? Thank you for educating me. And I couldn't tell you if Notre Dame is good. Methodical 7 says, what was the talk around when what was the talk around you when Bills put in their scabs in the fourth? It's quiet. MD 2020 says, is Kittle the Joe Staley in this regime? Seems to be the only one that still goes hard. Perfect comparison, yes. Ben Johnson is going to go to Chicago. Sure. I don't think anyone really wants to coach that team. That's an awful organization. 808 Niners says, there are too many holes on this team. Quarterback, wide receiver, running back, tight end, 4-0 line, 3D line, linebacker, cornerback, free safety. But the biggest hole is in Kyle's bag. It really looks like the Fonz in the Water Boy. Yeah, I mean, he's Coach Klein right now, right? Kyle has become Coach Klein. He's lost all confidence. Shady Luke. Hurts is 4-0 in regular season versus Burrow, Jackson, Mahomes, and Allen. Why can't Brock beat them? Because he's not that good. I'm sorry. He's not that good.